Hello, Buddhas. Today we are going to talk about not eating. Now, before we get started, Buddhas, I gotta let you know there's a playlist down below with, at this point, about 140 Buddha Billionaire videos that you can binge watch to accelerate your spiritual awakening. Now, we're going to talk about the fasting and the not eating and the, oh my gosh, that's so scary idea, I have to have 5 meals a day or I'm gonna die, mentality and attitude. That's, honestly, I hate to say that it's an ominous they that's kind of instilled this in us, but let's ignore that aspect for just a moment and go back in history, go back in time through evolution and the development of life. Now imagine that you are a lion on the savannah of Africa, and you can be whatever position in the pride you want to be. For me, man, big long hair. I like to think that I'm the king in charge. And it's my duty to make sure that the pride doesn't go hungry. So we go out with the lionesses and we go and we take down some wildebeest or something and we have some food and we gorge ourselves and we enjoy that meat, that succulent, delicious food, that sustenance that's going to keep us going for days, if not maybe weeks. And we eat our fair share, then we leave, and the other creatures come and devour the rest of the carcass, and it gets brought back into the soil, and it's part of a massive circle of life. But after eating that animal as the lion, we're going to hang out a little bit. We're not just going to go and say, you know what, that was 10:30, so I have my next appointment with lunch in like 2.5 hours. I think I'm going to go get myself a latte. Like, this is a lion, people. Bigger than you, stronger than you, possibly smarter than all of us, I'm not 100% sure. But they eat their fill, and then they peace out. And it gets to a point where like, okay, well, I'm not hungry, so I don't need to eat, so I'm not going to expend a bunch of energy while I'm digesting this food, which meat actually takes a fair amount of time to digest in relation to other fruits and vegetables and stuff. So they're going to take that time, they're going to digest over the next couple days, they're going to enjoy it, they're going to relax, play around, be full. And if you've ever noticed that when you're full, you can be kind of lethargic, you can be kind of sleepy, you can have that kind of lower energy because you just ate. And you need to concentrate on allowing that food to acclimate into your body and to become a part of you. So a point's going to come where the lions are going to start to get hungry again. And they're going to say, you know what, let's go look for a wildebeest. But they're having a streak of bad luck. And these lions don't find food for the next 3 days, let's say. Okay? Again, I'm not a biologist, so I don't know if any of these exact numbers make 100% sense, but let's say they go a couple days and they're not eating. The lions are not going to just immediately die because they haven't eaten in a couple days. Actually, the hungrier they get, the more determined they are to find what they're looking for, and the more likely they are to then make that right kill, make that move, get that prize, put in that really hard work and energy to achieve the goal of feeding the pride again. And this becomes a cycle, and they'll eat and then not eat, and they'll eat and then not eat. And this is in contrast to the human being situation right now, where in our society, we have to have breakfast first thing in the morning, which breakfast does not mean eat first thing in the morning. It means to break your fast, which can be whenever you eat the first time of that day, if not even later in another day. It does not have to be in the morning, but we're told we have to eat a bowl of cereal in the morning. And then we have to eat lunch. And then we have to have dinner. And then if you're a hobbit, you might have supper. And there's all these times throughout the day where we're having multiple snacks and foods and drinks and sugars and pops and all this stuff that's going into our bodies and makes us feel great, and then it makes us feel kind of blah, and then it makes us feel great, and blah, and it goes around. It's a cycle. And when people make the decision to say, you know what, I'm just not going to eat today, it can be a little bit challenging that day because the tummy's like, well, I want to eat, I got this food, I want to have the stuff and feed me. But Buddhas, you're not going to die if you don't eat for 24 hours. You might think you're going to die, but you're not. And I'm not a doctor, so this is not medical advice, and I'm just going to throw that out there because I feel like some people might take life too seriously and listen to people on YouTube, which you really shouldn't. You should just objectively observe what they're saying and then take that in and make your own decisions. But hey, keep listening. You can go a day without eating, and it's not going to adversely affect you. You might get a little grumpy. Your ego might fight, and it might say, I want food now, because that's what it's used to. But it's not going to die. Heck, you can go 2 days without eating. And you'll wake up in the morning, you might be a little hungry, but you might actually start to feel like, you know what, I actually have as much energy as I have had before, so I feel fine today. I don't need to necessarily eat, which, by the way, I'm on day 2 of a water fast right now. I've just been drinking water with some lemon in it, which is lovely. And you can go to day 3, where you might say, you know what, I feel just as fantastic as I did the other day, but I don't need to do this for my entire life, so I'm going to start to eat again. And this process creates different level of balance in your body. And that's why I'm talking about it here. Not because I am making a health recommendation for you Buddhas, not because I think that everyone should just fast all the time, not because I think it's an interesting trend to get clickbaity titles on, but because it's an incredible experiment for you to observe how you feel about you. Because 99% of the time, you get hungry, you eat. It's like you're addicted to food, which we are, because we do need it. I'm not saying that these bodies that we run in do not need food. They do. We're not there yet. But, maybe one day, but you can go a day or 2 without eating, and regardless of the health ramifications, it's an incredibly interesting experiment to run on yourself to see how you feel. And I can tell you now that I've done this a few times. It's I think the 3rd or 4th time that I've done fasting. The reason that I started doing it this round was because I was feeling a little upset. I couldn't figure out what I wanted to eat. Nothing was really making me feel sated. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go for a little bit and not eat. And then I went to bed the other night and I was like, okay, I didn't eat. And I was like, I feel fine. And I'm going today, it's about mid-morning right now, and I feel fine. I don't feel like I need to eat. And that's why I'm doing it. I'm not doing it to prove anything to anyone. I'm not doing it to say, oh, I fasted for this many hours. Ha 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 ha, I award something. I don't know. That's not why. But what I've noticed, and if you're still with me here, what I've noticed is that by doing the fasting, by sitting with the tummy ache for a minute that says, oh, I'm gurgly, I need to have food put in me, by listening to it and saying, no, like, you're fine. We've got food in the fridge. We're not gonna die here. There's a plethora of options. But by allowing myself to really understand what's going on in my body, I actually have completely cleaned out my gurgliness that was happening earlier. I'm no longer feeling like I don't know what I want to eat. I'm just feeling like I don't want to eat, which is a better state. And it's a state that a lot of people find really, really scary. And that's why I'm talking about it, because we are programmed from the moment we are born that we have to eat. You gotta drink milk right away as a newborn, which probably is true. I'm not a pediatrician. I'm not trying to say you shouldn't feed your kids. But as a conscious adult, if you can go 24 hours without eating, what else can you do? And that's where the real power in this is, Buddha. That's where the mind and the body need to have that real observation where you can see, okay, my body is hungry, but my mind is understanding that I'm not going to eat. And I, as the realization, the conscious awareness of both of those things, am okay with that. So Buddhas, let me know down below if you have ever tried fasting. If you are going to try fasting now, again, if you have medical conditions and that kind of stuff, please do it safely, do it smartly, consult your doctor. But the amount of research out there on either of that it's positive or that it's negative is very, very high, and you can find both. So I'm just saying for you to go within and to try it for a little bit of time and to see how it works, to see how you feel. Maybe spend a day skipping dinner. I don't know, but you might be amazed with the results. So Buddhas, remember at the end of the day, whether you're eating or not, the most important thing is to love yourself. Oh, and if you're going to be doing a fast, I very, very much recommend starting with a water fast. Don't just like dry fast for 72 hours because, I mean, I don't even know if that's good or not, but I haven't tried it, so I'm not going to recommend it. Peace.